Whether you're just starting or running a growing business, mastering your finances is a game changer. As a CPA, I'm building a course to help small business owners like you gain real financial clarity. Follow my progress and get a behind the scenes look at how it's coming together today. I'm Sean, and I've been a CPA for 14 years. During that time, I've worked with businesses of all sizes and have found that bookkeeping and finance is very often misunderstood and mishandled. That's why I started Ledger Ready and began developing an online course for small business owners where I walk you through building your accounting system and understanding your finances in plain English. Today, I'm going to show you my progress on that, and I welcome any questions or comments you may have. Naturally, like any CPA you may know, I did this in Excel, of course. And what you're looking at is an outline of my online course, and I'm just going to walk you through where I'm at today. Eventually, obviously, this will be either downloadable or available for viewing online on my website. And so I'm just going to walk you through what I have planned for this course. And if you have any questions or feedback or comments, I'd love to hear it. If I'm missing anything that you would especially like to learn about, I would happily hear you out and possibly add it to the course. So what I'm going to start with is what is accounting? So this is going to be a very high level breakdown of, what accounting is, what it's intended to accomplish, and the different components of that. So recording transactions, doing your month end close activities like reconciling your balances to your bank statement and things like that. Reporting, of course, how those transactions that you do every month flow into your month end reports or quarter end or however often you plan on reviewing your financials. Financial analysis, what that entails and the specific measures that you're going to want to look at. And then matching principle, I put duh here. That's for me. A little silly, but matching principle, that's a key accounting principle that we're going to walk through in this course and is very important to understand up front. Basically, what that means is just matching your expenses with your revenue. So expenses that directly relate to the revenue are recorded in the same period as the revenue itself. So that's something we'll walk through there. Then we're going to move to journal entries, more specifically what they are, how it works, and how that flows into your accounting system. We're actually going to move there to building your accounting system, so deciding on how you're going to record transactions. You can do accrual versus cash basis. There's also something called modified cash basis and tax basis, which we're not going to get into. They're not widely used. And that's why I put tax basis. No way, Jose. We're not going to do that. Your revenue recognition method, no need to understand that now. We're going to get into it in the course and walk you through exactly how to choose that and what makes the most sense for your business. Then we're going to move to deeper down into accounting principles, but don't worry. I'm going to keep it very simple, explain everything in plain English. Your general ledger, that is just, you can think of that as a massive Excel file that just lists out every transaction individually for any given point in time. And that's that's your database, so to speak. That's where all the reports that you produce, they use that data. They pull the data from your general ledger and summarize it in a meaningful way. So I'm going to walk you through that, preparing your chart of accounts, your listing of accounts, how you're going to build your accounting system. No need to hire a CPA or pay some other third party all this money to do this. We're going to walk through it, and you can and you will do it yourself. I promise you it's not as difficult and complex as you may think it is. We're going to then walk through from there, setting everything up in the system. I'm going to use QuickBooks as an example because that's one of the most widely used accounting applications by small businesses. We're going to walk you through all that functionality. It's very simple, but don't feel silly when we're going through this. I mean, these it's simple, but the anything is difficult when you're learning it for the first time. So, because all the terminology is new to you, and so we're gonna walk through that. We're gonna explain it and break it down and make it real simple for you. Um, then we're gonna move to what a month end close process should look like for you. What makes the most sense? We're going to develop KPIs, which are stands for key performance indicators, and those are financial measures that you'll most commonly look at. That your standard financial metrics that you look at each month to know if your business is doing well or not. We're also going to walk through certain activities that you should always do at the end of every month to make sure that your records are complete and accurate, that no one has made any mistakes, like the bank, which they sometimes do, believe it or not. So we're going to do that. And then I have some bonus material that I've been thinking about developing in addition to this program, some things that may make your life easier. So, for example, what your tax professional may need from you at the end of the year, so you're not scrambling at the end of the year to get all this paperwork together. You'll understand as you're going through each month, oh, okay, I'm going to need this, things like, hey, you don't need to keep paper receipts and things like that. The IRS accepts digital copies of all of the support for your tax return as long as it's legible. So there are ways you can make this really easy on yourself so that you're not having to scramble at the end of the year around tax time. I also was thinking about running through common banking terminology. So if you need some financing from a bank and you're just unsure, you want to show up to a meeting with a loan officer, and know what you speak their language, and know what they're going to ask for. We can walk through that. Similarly, how to prepare your own loan amortization schedule, and all that is when you get a loan, and if you have a mortgage, you may have seen this already, but the bank will prepare a schedule that lists out all your payments broken down by principal and interest. They'll do that right. They'll right from the origination of the loan, but that is actually something very simple to do yourself. So if you're thinking about getting a loan from a bank and you want to know, okay, here's the rate I think I'll be able to get. Here's how much money I need. I want to compute my payment, and I want to know what that looks like over the whole term of the loan. We can do that. It's very simple to do that in Excel, and so that was something I was thinking might be helpful. And then there are other tools, that I may walk through, and this I put Lockbox here as an example. There are different services that your bank can perform to make it easier for you. You could have, for instance, your customers mail their checks directly to the bank, not to you. It just takes a step out. So basically, what the bank would do is they would take the checks that are mailed, and they would deposit them for you, and then they take an image of the checks and actually email them to you, or make them otherwise available to you on their website. So it just takes a step out. You don't have to go to the bank and make all these deposits every month. So that's what I have planned. I've just started developing this course. I hope to have it ready by the end of the summer. I've targeted September 1st as my launch date, but if I'm able to get it done sooner, then of course, I'll keep you updated. But if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics that you'd like included here, I'd love to hear it. I'm developing this for small businesses, not for me. So I definitely want to hear from you. And if you'd like more updates, weekly updates, I have a newsletter where I send updates once a week, and that can be found at ledgerready.work. Again, ledgerready.work. I'm Sean, and I'll see you next time.